What's up, guys? It's me, the Menace of Aether, back at again to stir some more shit. I'm making this as a follow-up to my previous video in which I proved that you don't actually have to pot in P1 to meet the DPS check. Now, you're probably wondering why I even made that video in the first place. For that, you have these two tweets to thank, one of which has actually now been deleted. From yours truly, the Twitter degen, Stardiver. Now, you guys know me. I love drama, I love starting drama, I love being in drama, so you bet your fucking taint I had to go into that Twitter thread to say some shit. Now, before we continue any further, I would just like to inform you guys what kind of wildebeest we're dealing with here. Now, at first, I wasn't sure if this was a parody account, but the more I saw from them, the more convinced I became that she actually believes in what she says. She has somehow deluded herself into thinking that she is one of the best dragoons in the world. Now, normally I wouldn't care about things like this, right? If not for the fact that she says the dumbest shit possible with such conviction that you can't help but feel bad for her. In her mind, she thinks she's a top player because, in her words, not mine, her group regularly competes for top speeds on Exodus. Well, I mean, if they're ranked 2 on Exodus, that surely means that they're a good group, right? I wonder what their world ranking is. As you can see, textbook creature of the night behavior from her. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is her echo chamber of dick riders coming to her defense every time anyone criticizes her. I get wanting to stand up for your favorite parasocial internet content creator, but the shit she says is just so stupid sometimes, I wonder how anyone can ever take her seriously. The real kicker is that she hasn't even cleared the fight yet, so I fail to see how she can be so confident in the things she says about this fight. If you know me, you know that I don't like being wrong. So I did the only thing a logical person in my situation would have done. I grabbed a few friends, we went at the top, and we killed P1 without using pots. In fact, this shit was so easy. We went in there with double paladin and double fizz range just to show how easy it was. Now say you're a degenerate Twitter cuck and you've just been provided with irrefutable proof that you're wrong. What do you do in this situation? Do you apologize and back down? Do you change your view on the matter? The correct answer is you double down and you move the goalpost. Never mind that the original argument was pertaining only to the P1 check. From her primordial ooze of brain rot rises a new legion of cum guzzlers.
Clear the whole fight like this or else it doesn't count!
And for some reason, they think the only reason we made the check was because we had the extra meld from the top weapon? I don't know if they're being willfully ignorant or if they just didn't watch the fucking video, but you can literally see that I went through everybody's weapons in the beginning to show that they were either using the Abyssal's weapon or the top weapon with only 2 melds. Okay, so it's not the melds. What else could it be? Enter this fucking Ice Dweller. Now, there's no fucking way I'm reading all that. Feel free to pause the video and read at your own pace, but basically what it boils down to is that our crit was too high, we used too many resources, wah wah fucking wee wah. This is the go-to excuse for any shitter in this game anytime they wipe to enrage.
We didn't crit! That's the only reason why we wiped!
It takes the blame off of them as players and puts it on something completely out of their control. Now, are there fights where that's true? Yeah, of fucking course. P8S week 1, that shit was overtuned. Sometimes it was actually just down to crit variance. But I can confidently tell you that top is not one of those fights. But of course, Mr. YouTube commenter Radiant A wouldn't just say something with no basis to it, right? He must have arrived at that conclusion after hundreds of hours of experience with the fight, right? Since he's taken such good care to staying anonymous, there's no way I can actually check his logs, so I just have to take his word for it. But I'm sure if he showed us his logs, we would see hundreds of clears of the Omega Protocol. After all, he seems to know so much about the fight. Now back to the matter at hand. After being met with another wave of vitriolic horseshit from the Twitter mob, what am I to do but to prove them wrong once again? My friends, I present to you the no pot clear. Seeing as I'm the most petty motherfucker in this game, I decided that clearing the fight with just not potting P1 was not enough. So I gathered 7 of my friends and we went in there with the goal of clearing the whole fight without using any pots at all. And it went as well as you might imagine. Now, I'm not going to bore you guys by showing you guys a whole 20-minute clear. I'll upload that in a separate video. Instead, what I'll do is I'll show you guys the end of each phase to show you exactly how close we were to coming to Enrage. First up, obviously, we got phase 1. Okay, the boss was a little healthy. We had to spend a little bit more resources. No problem in my opinion. But according to the haters, this is where it starts cascading all the way into P4. Let's go to the end of P2 and see how that looks. So far, everything's looking okay to me. The boss is at the HP it should be, we're killing at a good time. In fact, our melees would actually prefer if we held a little bit. And keep in mind this is all done without using pots. And if you think this is because of crit luck, I have a clip to show you of what actual crit luck looks like. Here in this clip, we were killing so fast, our group had to giga hold us to not fuck over the mitigation. Once again, no one in this clip used pots, and I admit you're normally not going to see damage like this. This is complete crit luck. But I wanted to show this to you guys anyway to show you what actual luck looks like. So we're not having any problems in P1, we're not having any problems in P2. As far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty convinced that not potting in P1 will not fuck over the rest of the fight. In fact, anyone who's cleared the fight multiple times will agree with me. Maybe the problems will start coming in P3. Maybe there's something that the world's best Dragoon knows that I don't know. Let's go to the end of P3 to see how that looks.
High jump enjoyers?
I don't have that skill.
I can't enjoy it very much.
Okay, I'm good. Sorry, I just had to nut a little bit there.
So P3, like P1 and P2, are looking pretty comfortable. In fact, people still had to hold in order for our Dragoon to get his high jump off. I'm starting to think that Dragoon is full of horse shit and doesn't actually know what she's talking about. I have cemented my argument, and my point is proven. My logic, infallible. But wait a minute. What is that coming up in the distance? I can barely just make out a silhouette. It looks like a net wrapped around a bunch of metal pipes. It couldn't be. Yep, you fucking guessed it. It's the Go Post. According to the Nobel laureate Stardiver, you were supposed to see problems in P4 because of the resources you had to dump in P1. No doubt she arrived at this conclusion from personal experiences. But talk is cheap. Why don't I just show you guys how we fared? Yep, we overkilled P4 by 6%. And just in case you think we got lucky, here are 2 more clips.
Bro, my in the game, I was late to 8 there.
Hard.
What, you guys are cheating?
Whoa, what is this? Are you sure you guys? What the
No,
Okay, who's potting? Who's potting?
It's because you guys aren't holding for P5, that's the reason.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna think this is not crit range.
Dude, we haven't potted.
I don't know, mate.
I think you
Misery's
got
been
lucky.
good directing, dude.
13%, 12%.
What the fuck is that, bro?
It's just luck.
It's the hard one though, dude.
Someone must be potting, bro. Who's hiding it?
For real.
Someone's cheating.
I just potted something. It was food.
So it's not the pots, and it's not crit variance. I'm starting to think the check just isn't that hard. Maybe P5 will be different.
We're back.
Nope, it was just as piss easy. To be honest, it just felt like a normal run. You couldn't even notice that we weren't using pots. But none of that means anything since the only phase that matters is P6. If you can't meet the P6 check, you're not clearing. The math on pots has been done, and on average, it's about an 8% damage buff. You would think that because this is an ultimate, that you would need it to clear, right? I'll just let the video speak for itself.
If you haven't potted, don't pot.
Don't pot.
Pot is 5.
This boss is already dead.
Don't skip cutscenes.
Do not skip the cutscene.
That was pretty.
That
I'm
wasn't
sorry. I'm
Oh,
sorry. I
that's
treat so
Right
much.
now.
And just like that, we clear the fight without using a single pot. This kill actually ended up being rank 99 in speed. Not bad for a group who didn't pot. And just for good measure, I went through everybody's gear at the end to make sure that they were either using the Abyssal's weapon, or the top weapon with only 2 melds. Not that the extra materia slot would have fucking mattered, believe me. On average, it's like what, a 20 DPS game, 2 DPS players? On supports, probably even less. We also made sure to stay in the cutscene so we can prove that they didn't change the weapons out after they cleared. Going through the logs, you can see that this took about an hour to complete. We wiped a total of 5 times, but none of these wipes were due to enrage, they were just from people fucking up. We made it past the P4 check 4 times. We made it to P6 3 times, once on our first pull. I cannot recall a single pull where we had DPS issues. I'll post a link to the logs down below, feel free to look through them. We have unequivocally proven that you do not need to pot at any point in this fight to clear it. But am I saying you shouldn't pot because of this? No. Absolutely fucking not. People fuck up, people mess up, people die, people mess up their rotation, people drift their buffs, their 1 minutes. But if you are clean and raging at any phase in this fight because you didn't pot, either you're dog shit, or the people you're playing with are dog shit, or both. There's no point mincing words, there's no two ways about it, you're just dog shit. If you're still learning a phase, yeah, that's a different story. But if you're playing, in your mind, perfectly, and you're still enraging, I'm sorry to say, but you are just bad. Ultimates in Final Fantasy are not designed around DPS checks, they're just not. And top is no different. In fact, I would say this is one of the easier ultimates, both in terms of damage and mechanical difficulty. But of course, seeing as how you're now the Spanish static group did 1800 pulls and didn't see P6 once, and seeing as how you, the DPS player, managed to cause the most wipes, no wonder your group thought this fight was hard. Normally, the only people I go after are people who talk out of their ass, and even then I don't put this much effort into it. But the sheer arrogance you displayed on Twitter, added to the fact that you will quote retweet any criticism towards you so your lackeys can back you up. Let's just say it pisses quite a few people off. My advice to you would be to shut the fuck up, know your place, and don't talk about things you don't know shit about. Maybe if you didn't play like your parents or siblings, you wouldn't be coping about crit. Anyway, that's about it. I don't see how you're gonna cope your way out of this one, but knowing you, you'll find a way.